is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody that is on the cusp of something really great. It could be a new job, it could be a promotion, it could be that you're about to inherit some money or, I don't know, start a side hustle. But this is encouraging you to keep moving forward and letting you know that there is some increase in your financial security right around the corner. But it requires that you either keep doing what it is that you're doing or maybe even add something to what it is that you're doing. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I think we will start with the Tattoo Tarot. All right, what else do we have about money? What else? Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, Temperance, and the Eight of Wands in the reverse. You've had to be patient. Yep. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse is talking about some financial difficulty here or lack of independence. It felt like I had things under control and then, you know, things just kind of snowballed, or I had to pay something back I didn't expect. There's been stress or like a need to pull back and be a bit more frugal, but it's like something is about to change very quickly, and yet with the Eight of Wands in the reverse, it's something that you thought would have happened earlier. So you may have gotten to the point where you're sitting here thinking, is it always going to be this stressful? Is it always going to be, a battle to make sure that I can make it to payday? And this is saying that long wait is finally over. The Star, we have some healing energy, choices and decisions that you've made, especially when moving towards new energy, whether that is moving, finding a new job, changing the social environment for yourself. These choices have put you in the path to basically be able to make more money than you would have been otherwise. So you've made some very good choices. Hello, Erin. What's going on? Hello, Rachel. What's happening? Yep, breakfast was a cereal bar. So that enables things to move quickly. Five of Swords and the Hierophant in the reverse. So you've had to take an unconventional path. If you got education and you felt like it was a pretty clear, like, this is what my career path is going to be, there may have been some shift as far as that industry. You may have changed your preference as far as, oh, like I went to school for this, but that's not really what I want to do. There's been some, like, oops, I guess that's not the right way. I'm picturing one of those, like, hedge mazes, and sometimes you get stuck in a little corner and you have to turn around and find a different path, right? That's where you were. You were like, okay, well, that's not the right way. So what if I try this over here? You weren't going to just remain stuck. You wanted to figure out a different path, and that differentiates you from a number of people. Seven of Swords, Three of Pentacles. Because the path or the career that you had chosen initially was just a little bit too normal. Carmen, are you calling me weird? Yes, I am. But I think weird is good. So let's make sure we're on the same page regarding that. This is saying whatever you were working your butt off to make work, or whatever has kind of closed itself off as far as being an opportunity for you, it wasn't the right thing for you. It wasn't good enough for you. There's a specific skill set or a gift that you have, and you are meant to use that, even if it is just in a side hustle, or even if it is, just making it a little bit more of a creative approach to the job that you were previously doing. Hello, Kumar. How's it going? Hello, Holy Ghost. What's up? Welcome back, Hayden. Oh, snow removal. I don't miss that. One of these days I'm gonna have to tell you about I have to be careful not to like exaggerate too much, but I like to frame it up as the time I got kidnapped while shoveling snow in my driveway. Yeah. Should I just tell you an abridged version? Since it would be rude, right? If I don't. I was shoveling the snow in my driveway and literally was 30 seconds away from going inside. And this was after I'd got home from work. You know, you just want to like relax a little bit, hang out with, at that time I wanted to hang out with Stewie, my cat. There was this dude who lived like kitty corner, and he saw me like kind of struggling with removing the snow with a shovel. Struggling, maybe. And he has, what is it called? Snowblower. Came over, told me he would finish up the last little bit there. And I was like, I think I got this. And then made me go over to his place and have a beer. It was the most awkward thing in the whole world. Like, but I don't want to. Just say no, people, okay? You could just say no. At this point, if that were to happen, I'd be like, nope, I really can't. Why? It doesn't matter. I can't. Like, King of Wands in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, Four of Pentacles, King of Pentacles in the reverse. Wow, okay. This feels to me like losing motivation, losing financial grounding, feeling like there's been a giant step backwards. Maybe someone was laid off, maybe someone had to go back and get some additional education or certification or something like that. But this was just like, man, I thought I had set up what I needed to. I thought I had finished shoveling the driveway. And then this just like took me by surprise, and I had to like reroute, you know, I had to figure out a different plan. And I feel like the Six of Cups is talking about a friend or an old dream that you had. You know, I used to think that I would be a veterinarian, and instead I decided I needed to do something that was, you know, I don't know, more like in, let's just say it's insurance, right? And this person's thinking to themselves, well, what if I were to see if there's still some way to make that work? Or what if I was able to get back into music? Or, you know, consider actually opening up a restaurant because people really like my chicken casserole. Going on Minnesota vibe with that one today. Hello. Let's see if I can do this. Is it Jayanta? How are you doing? I hope I said your name right. Ooh, let's get a different tarot deck, shall we? This is the Thoth Tarot. Yeah, I like that. So we've got Prince of Discs, which would be the Knight of Pentacles. Someone who's willing to invest in the long game. You know what? It might take a lot of my time. It might take a lot of my effort, or maybe I have to work, you know, 10 extra hours a week, but it's worth it. So whatever you've done, dedication would be a word that comes to mind. Wow. And we have completion. The Four of Wands, promotion, raise, building a strong foundation, leveling up, upgrading, being seen as somebody who has accomplished something pretty significant. And then we have the Star. Some of you may actually have some level of fame or celebrity that comes along with whatever this other thing is that you do. For others of you, this is saying because you have focused on your healing, you have this like ability or this edge that enables you to be even more successful. If somebody is, for example, going to be an author and they had a manuscript or a book that they'd been working on for years, and then they go through this difficult time, it could add color or help them understand how to make that script or that book more relatable because they've lived more, right? That experience is so rich for people who are doing something creative. And it does feel like this is someone who's creative or finding a way to add more creativity to what they do to make money. We have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Ruin in the reverse, which I love to see. This is saying, yes, maybe there have been some setbacks. Maybe I even felt like I didn't have anything at all. But I've been able to work to change that, to bring back some abundance to my life. So 10 of Cups in the reverse. This required that you get out of your comfort zone. For many of you, there was a need to change where you lived or change where you worked, but it has ended up just like making you more capable. I don't know. I feel like if you're authentic, you don't need to be overprotective, right? If you're authentic, I would hope that you're able to see that you have to provide some level of protection while also encouraging someone to figure out what they need to do for themselves, right? So we've got the Queen of Swords. Yes, I'm glad I looked this up yesterday. So yesterday was the first day that I used this tarot deck, and I saw this and didn't know what it was. Apparently that is unique to Aleister Crowley, his specific design. I can't remember, it's something like, it had something with a hexagon in it. But this is somebody who is realizing, you know what, there are things that are interconnected. There are things that I can leverage. Maybe I was going about it the wrong way. Queen of Swords is intelligence and perception. And the Ace of Swords being in the reverse. This is like, okay, well, I had to figure out my own truth. What is true for other people may not be true for me. What's coming to mind is the way that schools used to operate, let's say 40 years ago, is very different from how they've started to operate. Now, we could probably write a whole dissertation on that. Probably a little bit too heavy on the administrative folks, but what I'm really getting at is there was no real attempt, and I don't know if 40 years is long enough ago, but I feel like it is. There was no real attempt to accommodate for the various learning styles. It was just kind of like a, here's the lesson, I hope you can figure it out. I'm going to teach it in the way that I learn, but not necessarily acknowledge that it might not be how you learn. Now it feels like a lot of schools have, you know, okay, we need to have the AP classes, or we need to make sure that we have, you know, classes for people that are maybe requiring a little bit more attention. This is like, you know what? I had to realize that I'm not like the others. I had to realize that I have a different path, or that I can't just like, you know, be a lemming and follow everybody else. Got to be a little bit more adventurous or exploratory. So this is why your path is taking a little bit of a pivot, right? We've got Seven of Swords, futility. And then we also have truce in the reverse, the Four of Swords. Okay, so I think you've got somebody who has sent negative energy your way and also contributed to this financial drought that you went through. And your commitment to healing, or your willingness to consider a different path or what works best for you, is protecting you from that negative energy that's being sent your way. From your converted troll devotee. How's it going, Vaccinator? I hope you're having a good day. What's up, Scammy? Hello, Wei Kwan. All right, we've got why do I keep doing that? We have the Nine of Cups, happiness, and the Knight of Swords. It's like making me feel like we have some strange like dragonfly horse situation here. The Knight of Swords is fast-moving energy, and I think you can kind of see that with how it's artistically displayed there. But we've got someone who's getting what they want, and it's coming in very quickly after a very long wait, after someone has maybe even gotten to the point where they're like, is this even gonna like work? Like tapping the microphone, like, is this thing on? Yeah, it is. And you've been able to overcome an enemy, somebody who thought that they could prevent you from moving to this next level or becoming what you are meant to become. Now, the type of person that would try to block you from this, it could be a variety, right? We could have a parent that doesn't want their adult child to do better than them in life. financially. We could have a partner who gets jealous because you spend too much time doing this or that, or they don't want you to feel like you're better than them and you should find somebody new. Whatever it is, could be jealousy, it could be a sense of rejection. But we have somebody who thought they could stop you from becoming this emperor energy. And that emperor energy is you being able to take control of your life as well as pursue the things that are meant for you. And this is when things start to move forward for you, where you're like, oh my gosh, it's like, I don't know, it's like somebody decided to turn it back on and now I can actually like move. There's nothing like holding you back anymore, either internally or this person who wanted to see you fail. You've broken through it. We have the Lovers and the Hierophant in the reverse. For many of you, this is because you've chosen yourself. You've chosen what you want instead of hiding what you think you're capable of or making yourself appear smaller so that you wouldn't intimidate or make somebody else feel frustrated, whether it's family or possibly an ex. This is like, you know what? I'm just going to do what I think I'm meant to do, and I have a feeling it's going to work. All right, this is the Love Oracle. Hello, Blastix, how we doing? Hello, Realist Cash, how's your day going? Hello, Kimberly, what's going on? Hello, how do we say this? Pyramid, how are you doing? Yes, I agree. Everyone deserves a chance to shine. I hope you are too. So we've got shocking and conflict, turmoil, trouble, unexpected, clashing, differences, incompatibility. For some of you, you are going to be, or you were, shocked when someone that was in your inner circle made it clear that they were not entirely supportive or that they may have even been working against you getting what you want. So because I am an I Love Lucy fan, naturally what comes to mind is Lucy would probably claim that Ricky was always getting in the way or blocking her from being able to be some big star, right? You never let me go on your show. You never let me go, you know, work for people, or you just want to make sure that I'm not famous. There is some conflict here with a person that should have been supportive, and instead they were a block for you. They sent negative energy or literally wished for you not to get this thing that is important for you, and pretended that they were on your side or pretended that they were, you know, rooting for you. There's no room in your life for people like this. This is my opinion. You got to live your life. You got to make your own choices. But if somebody is content to risk or ruin an actual dream of yours because they feel like they need to have control over the connection with you, ask yourself if it's really love or if it's just fear. Everything, I think, can be boiled down to love or fear. Is this a decision or an action that you're taking because of love or because of fear? This is I'm afraid of losing you. So I want to make sure that you don't get like too big for your britches, right? Hello, Luke. How are you doing? Hey, Titan. I'm going to put you on a little baby timeout because I really don't like somebody saying that God forgives me for something. You really don't know anything about me. That being said, I just want to make sure it's clear that I still hope you have a wonderful day. You're welcome to come back at some point, but I would expect a little bit more of respect. Hello? Oh, I think I already did say hello to you. Hello, April. How we doing? Don't make me think of that song, Skemmy. Oh, no. All right, so we've got emotional storm. Another reference to turmoil, by the way. We had that with the first one. And then we also have open heart, receptive, empathy, and vulnerable, with apology, forgiveness, return, and sorry. No, I don't know. I'm going to try to like hold out a little bit on this judgment, but I'm just going to tell you that initially this looks to me like we have someone who is coming back around after you've achieved this thing that they themselves tried to make difficult for you or impossible for you. And they're like, oh my gosh, congratulations. You're doing so well now, making so much money. Do you want to spend some of that money on me? Do you want to take me back because now you can afford the life that I want? There's some switch up here, an apology that doesn't seem very genuine, and it could be a little bit of clout chasing. It could be just a little bit of like, I didn't believe in you, you know, back then, but now that you've done what you were trying to accomplish, now I'm going to be like your best friend. You know, if you win the lottery, you're going to find out you have a whole bunch of fake friends. Well, only if you tell people you won the lottery. If you win the lottery, don't tell anyone. Find a lawyer. Tell 0 people except for the lawyer. Hello, Ike. How you doing? Happy Sunday. Hello, ZX. How are you doing? What else do we have? Hello, Will. How is New Zealand today? So we've got time and distance. Seems like a great time to mention velocity is important when driving on the highway. Waiting, cycles, moments, separation, space, blockage. So they waited all this time. They sent negative energy your way. They told you you wouldn't be able to do this, or they made it feel like you were unreasonable for chasing or wanting to pursue something important to you. And then now that things are done, now that you've been able to achieve something significant, this person wants to come back around. Maybe they blocked you. Maybe they just like ghosted you. They want to come back around. They're going to apologize and they're going to be like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I should have realized that you were much more talented than I thought. But I am so proud of you. Gosh, it looks like you have an extra stall in your garage. Do you think I could just move in tomorrow? No. Do you think you could learn how to be authentic by tomorrow? Let's have a chat. No, this is somebody who's like coming back around because you're making money. So yes, you still need to make sure you've got that discernment and that intuition, right? Thank you for liking and subscribing, by the way. What else do we have? This is the Golden Lenormand, the Rider. This is somebody who's coming back around. They want to talk to you because now you're, you know, gonna be rich or famous, or that thing that you wrote for 3 years is now going to be like a bestseller. This is someone who's like, okay, now that it's going well, I'm coming back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry things ended that way. That was silly of me, but you'll take me back, right? Oh, by the way, could you like lend me $1,000? Thank you, Gerline. How are we doing today? Hello, Oracle. How's your day? Yes, double tap the screen. We've got the Heart, number 24, and the Garden, number 20. Now that everybody else loves you, now that everybody else is cheering you on, now that everybody else maybe wants you or is excited about you, now I want to come back around and like reclaim that place next to you, even though I was specifically trying to make sure that you didn't get that thing. It's a no for me, dog. Hello, Lee. Thank you for the tip. Of course. I've got that added for you. Hello, Angela. Thank you, Gerline. From Jay about my love life. Awesome. I have added that for you as well, Gerline. And if you all can't see the timer, I don't remember if it actually shows that when it's live, but I'm at 24 minutes and 20 seconds. So probably, let's call it like 8 or 9 minutes before I start those personal questions. Oh, come on. Why you gotta make me work so hard? Ooh, the House. This is about material possessions. This is someone who's like, oh, you know, I didn't believe in you, or I left you because I thought you were wasting your time, or I didn't think you made enough money. But now that you're making more money, I'm just gonna like come back around and be like, hey, because I like the fact that you could drop some money on me. I like the fact that you have this good reputation. Now I want to be like your best friend. Well, more than that, really. Okay. Trying to hold back on the judging. Hello, Herman. How are you doing? Yeah, we don't like the games. All right, so we've got enchantment. So, how do I say this? I'm not over here trying to make sure that you have some ridiculous ego or over inflated sense of like, I'm amazing, right? But I am going to tell you this. If this message is resonating for you, it's because you are not like the others, okay? And that means that for probably a pretty substantial amount of your life, you've had to deal with people looking at you and going, really? You're weird. You think you can do that? I don't know. You've put up with so much of that energy and yet still focused on what you're meant to do, or you haven't lost that sense of, I guess I could say, joie de vivre, since we've got the Eiffel Tower here. You've been able to do the things that you need to do while also maintaining this pursuit of something that is important to you, and it's going to pay off. It's going to make you more comfortable financially. You captivate people, or you are fascinating to people, but you've got to make sure that this is about who you are and not what you have. Because as your star rises, as you get perhaps a little bit more financially comfortable, you're gonna have people who are gonna be like, gosh, you really are attractive. I mean, like, just look at the car you drive. That's not attraction to you, and you know that. The people who are about to come back around, and it could be more than one, they're gonna be like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry that I didn't believe in you. But you know what? Now I'm so glad I know you. And if it were me, I wouldn't have the time of day for these people. You don't have to be rude about it. You know? Sometimes it's a little bit of a battle to figure out exactly how direct to be in situations like this, but oh, you know what? I'm celebrating with my closest friends, but would love to catch up with you another time. Is that rude? I don't feel as rude. Are you one of my closest friends? No, you aren't. So you weren't invited. So don't be acting like you're like my closest friend when we haven't talked for a long time. You know what I mean? This is someone who feels like they can do the like love bombing and like, oh my gosh, you know, I know we had a fight. I know we haven't talked in a while, but we should just like forget that, right? Oh, are those photographers? Does my hair look okay? They're going to pretend that they're here to be loving and admiring and excited about you. But the reality is, this is somebody who just wants to be close to you because of their own desires for material items, or maybe even like closeness to celebrity or fame, if you have that in your path as well. Hello, John. How are you doing? Hello, Lemonade. What's going on? Hello, Eric. How's your day? Hobbies are good. Hobbies are very good. What else do we have? Karma. There are people who have been removed from your inner circle for a reason. And if they are clamoring to get back into your inner circle for material or like, I don't know, low vibrational reasons, I don't feel like you're going to struggle with this challenge. I feel like your intuition is going to be quite clear. Sorry, you decided to excuse yourself from that table. I'm not going to like issue a new invite. You already burned it. You're already like, oh, I don't want to hang out with that person. Because you're unconventional. Because you did something unusual, or you have been unusual. So there are people who will clamor to get back into your inner circle as you go through awakenings, right? As you see things more clearly, as you get your good karma, as you have increased financial security, there are going to be people who feel like maybe you can fix the problems for them, as opposed to they're going through the same thing you've had to go through, being patient, not having that financial security. No, they don't get to just like swoop in for that. All right, let's get a little bit more. This is the Noisy Tarot. Hello, Delinia. I hope I said that right. How are you doing? Yes, quiet strength. I like that. What else do we have? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, 10 of Swords in the reverse, and the Moon. For many of you, this has not happened yet. You are in like the final countdown of this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse energy. You know, oh, I feel like I'm not going to have enough for that, or I have to sacrifice this in order to make sure that I can do that. I want you to be very focused on a positive mindset, or talk about things. Let's just give an example, okay? I want to be more independent versus I am going to be more independent, or I am more independent. Those are much more powerful ways of thinking about your situation than, gosh, I wish I had more money. Put it in present tense and assume it. But I do feel like you are about to get some really good news, or you're about to reach a threshold that makes you feel like, okay, finally I have this in savings, or finally I have this, down payment saved. Whatever it is, you're very close to it. Judgment in the reverse. Five of Cups, Four of Wands in the reverse, Three of Pentacles. I'm going to be very clear with you on this. You can have the financial security and the path that you are supposed to be on, or you can have the people from your past. You cannot have both. If you let this clown from your past come back around and sit at your table, you will not have the feast that was meant for you. I don't mean to be all threatening about it, but these two do not work. Oil and water, right? They separate. You do not get the Four of Wands if you get back, including people in your inner circle who do not deserve to be there. So I'm not telling you got to tell people like, look, it's either what I want or you in my life. That's probably a little bit too harsh. But I'm telling you right now, you choose to get back together with or invite someone to be your friend again who is only doing this apology because of superficial reasons, you will minimize or completely risk this financial security or this path. And for some of you, it's because this person would steal it. For some of you, it's like, okay, well, let's get married and then I'm going to take half, right? Do not let this person upset what you have worked so diligently to create for yourself. They don't deserve that. Yes, exactly, April. You'll have people that are much more trustworthy. I gotta be honest, I think there's going to be multiple people here who are talking about how do we get back into that person's inner circle. Now that there's something that I could benefit from, now that I could like get some money off of that, or now that I could like say, oh, I know that person who's famous. I'm sorry. New phone, who dis? I don't know you. What's your middle name? I don't recognize that name. You don't have to be a dick about it. But I don't think you should be a doormat either. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. These are codependent people. That's why they didn't understand your dreams, because coming up with like a creative path or working this diligently on something doesn't even cross these people's minds. Like, that sounds like a lot of work. No. Why can't I just marry someone and be rich? Queen of Swords, Seven of Cups in the reverse, and the Three of Cups in the reverse. So Keep your boundaries. Don't let people back in just because they want to be close to you after you are successful. They're not real friends. They don't deserve to have, you know, free tickets to your concert or bragging rights that they're good friends with you. They can talk about how they used to know you. It's making me think of that interview. Oh gosh, I wish I knew who it was. I'm totally blanking on who it was. There was some chick who was interviewing, maybe it was like Michael B. Jordan or something. But there was, I think she was wearing glasses. She was interviewing this star and makes some reference to like, yeah, I think we like ran into each other back then. And this guy's like, yeah, you bullied me. Like, didn't really like you. Yeah, thanks for acknowledging that I've accomplished something or that, you know, things are going better for me. You're not invited to the party, bro. Like, sorry. They're not. Okay, let's get to our personal questions. We've got Lee up first and then Gerline. What do we have for Lee? Yes. Since you're mentioning Incubus, I will just tell you one of my favorite songs to listen to if I'm feeling stressed is Don't Lose It, Carmen. What is it called? Ooh, it's a really long word, dang it. Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy and I can't look it up on my phone. You guys. Okay, it has like water vibes to it. I can't believe I'm blanking on this song name. Rachel, if you're really good at it, you let me know. Identifying Incubus songs. This is an older one, and I feel like it's like 15 letters long. No, it's not Wish You Were Here. It was like almost like a Japanese vibe to it. No, it's not Stellar. I don't think it's one of the popular ones. Gosh, this is gonna drive me crazy. Do I have my... Where's my laptop? Hold on, you guys. We're gonna solve this. Maybe? Oh no. I'm charging my laptop, so that's not an option. All right, you guys. I will post it. This is driving me crazy, though. Yeah, I have recommended this song so many times. I don't understand why it's not in my brain. I might have to just post it as a comment on here. Aquarius transmission. Oh my God, you thought of it at the same time, Rachel. Yes, that is it. I thought it was one word, but yeah, that's it. So even has like the water element in the name, right? But if you need to calm down after somebody comes back around and tries to be your friend after they didn't believe in you, you know, maybe just listen to that song. I love that song. Sorry, that took me like 5 years to figure out. Okay, let me refocus my energy for Lee's question here. Sorry, Lee. What do we have for Lee, please? Also, is it 15 letters long? I'll be so impressed if it is. Justice in the reverse, Six of Swords in the reverse. Queen of Cups, Strength in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Chris's energy, feeling like there's been a miscarriage of justice or the decision was unfair. Six of Swords in the reverse, things getting more difficult. They're not going as easily as I thought they were going to. And looking at you, like, I didn't think you had it in you. I didn't think this Queen of Cups, that would be you, could actually like conquer this or navigate the things that I kept throwing at you. Knight of Pentacles. So this is like acknowledging that you have a better long game than they anticipated. Hey, Pete. God is watching you use all caps in live chat and also disappointed in you. Oh, pesky Pete, you gotta have something better to do on a Sunday morning. Come on. I challenge you to go say something nice to someone today, Pete. Make someone's day. That's what I think Jesus would like that. 7 of Wands. This is divine timing for things to change for you, Lee. It's almost like a little bit cruel, like the universe wanted to let your ex think that things were going to go his way, just to make sure that like slap across the face, like, you fool, was like extra stingy, you know? You really thought you could fool all these people? You really thought you were the smartest person in the room? No, you're not. So Page of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Swords in the reverse, and the Two of Wands. So there's a new path beginning to appear in front of you that seems less treacherous or less like dogged, right? Like, I'm not going to have to deal with as much toxicity. This is because there is a lesson being taught to your ex. And I do feel like there's going to be some kicking and screaming, right? Like, I don't want to play nice. I don't want to be, you know, focused on my own things. I want to cause problems for you. I feel like the universe is kind of like having a little bit of a showdown moment here. Like, you want to do what? I'm picturing like a dog park where you have multiple dogs and maybe they just encountered each other, but they all know who the alpha is. And sometimes when one of the dogs gets a little bit rowdy, it's like they'll put like the paw on you, like, not right now, not right now. The universe is saying that to your ex. You got to change up your tactic because this is not working. We'll see if he listens. But the Nine of Swords indicates a lot of anxiety for him right now. And I hope he's able to change the direction, right? Have a good one, Rachel. All right, let's see what we've got for Gerline. This is the Santa Muerte. Hey, Jazz, we don't let threatening people hang out in the live chat. I'm blocking you right now for 24 hours. If you talk that way to my moderator, I'm not going to let you hang out in my live chat, okay? You don't have the power in this live chat. Rachel is amazing. And I get a little, like, my blood boils a little bit when people are mean to my moderators, okay? Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that he does, Lee. We got to give people room to surprise us with those things. But I would say the word indignant is pretty appropriate for the energy that I see, right? All right, so for Gerline, we have, what is the message from Jay about my love life? 7 of Swords, Knight of Cups, 2 of Wands in the reverse, High Priestess, 5 of Swords, and the Devil in the reverse. This feels to me like Jay is saying you are too comfortable falling in love with somebody's potential, thinking about how things could be down the line, as opposed to looking at how people are in this moment. If you were to go to the grocery store and, what's a good example? And you find a pumpkin on sale. I know it's not seasonal. You're not going to look at them and be like, okay, but is this going to continue to grow? Because I want it to be a bigger pumpkin by Halloween. Nobody asks that, I hope. Don't invest in a relationship with someone and be like, it's okay, they're not really that great now, but maybe like 3 months from now they will be. That pumpkin ain't going to grow anymore. This is saying there's too much benefit of the doubt that you offer to people in that romantic situation, and then you end up finding out, oh no, this person's been secretive, or you learn a lesson because I didn't look at that red flag and take it seriously, or I just so badly wanted it to be that person. It feels to me like Jay is saying you have the opportunity right now to let go of that habit or that pattern of behavior and be more honest with yourself, pay closer attention to that intuition, and then walk away from people who don't offer you romance with good intentions. There is a change in your life coming up where you demonstrate that you are not interested in dealing with people who will cause chaos, or people who are toxic, or people who are non-committal. And I feel like when you get to this moment, when this crossroads is in front of you, you're going to think of what Jay said. You're going to be like, you know what? I don't need this. This is not good enough. Oops. All right. Did I miss anybody? Hello, Deez. What's up? All right, y'all. I think I gotta leave it there. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for hyping the video if you're able to. And I will see you on the next